Alright guys, BigPoppaTMo here. Hey, how's it going? How's everybody doing today? Alright, we have come to that time where what we are going to do is we are going to load up our ship. We have our boat ready to go. I have built all the walls. I need one more palm frond for that, which I'm not sure what I want to do about that. I don't think I have any more fronds anywhere on the island. But I pretty much utilized every palm frond we have. I may break down a wall. Might break down a wall just to grab one, just to get it finished. Honestly, this wall, prime contender. That'll work. I know it's kind of silly, but I think when we leave this cluster, we're not coming back. Now, I did a whole lot of work off camera between the last episode and this episode. And one of the major things that I've actually done is I organized most of the storage. There are a couple more things I need to pick up and put away, but we can do that as I put things away. But it also rained quite extensively, and what I ended up with here is 5 full barrels of water and one with 10 in it. Um, so we're pretty good on water. We are pretty good on water. Now the other thing I've done is, like I said, I organized pretty much all of the crates and got everything ready to go. And now it's time to just put them down and um, lash them into place, and we'll be good to go. I may need to make a little bit more rope. I'm not exactly sure. I don't remember if I have any more floating around anywhere. But we are going to have to um, lash a whole bunch of boxes down. We are going to have to lash a whole bunch of boxes down because I'm taking pretty much everything useful with me. And by everything useful, I mean pretty much everything useful. Probably bringing too much stuff, but I'm going to make sure that I have more than enough to make this happen. Now, that has given us 5 boxes along each side. We have 3 more pieces of rope. I think I actually only have 2 more crates that I want to put on here. So we should be good on that. All of the water boxes are, in fact, lashed down. Now, this one right here, this one's kind of important because this is like the stick the last stuff in there. I have all 3 of our cooking pots, both of our buckets. We definitely want to bring those. I almost forgot about that. Um, I was running around and I remembered that I still had the dew collectors inside the building. And I was like, okay, let's make sure we got that. So we are unfortunately going to have to leave a couple of the barrels behind, but I think 6 barrels is more than enough. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take a quick look at my food. We are a little bit hungry. We need some seafood. I need seafood or land food more than anything else. But I'm going to go through and just one final check. Check all of these boxes that are in here. I should have gone through them well enough. I do want to bring that. Might as well grab the good axe. Don't need any of those. I never did bring any upstairs. Pretty sure this is just husks. So we have a ton of husks sitting around here because I did break open all of the coconuts that I had available. See, we still have another axe in here. Grab that. We can eat some dried meat. That'll be fine. Pretty sure all the seafood's already on the boat. Have yet another axe. I don't think we're really going to need a whole bunch of axes. Do want to grab the feathers. That's burnt salmon. Definitely don't need to bring that. Alright, we are going to grab the grass because it's just nice and light. Doesn't really take up much space or anything else like that. Alright, we got one more piece of rope. So I'm going to grab an empty barrel. And we're just going to go ahead and lash this one down. I thought I had more rope. I'm actually going to check through the boxes on the boat too. See what we got going on, because I also need to find the seafood to eat. Alright, that one's good. I have a small piece of rope. I got oil, water. Got all sorts of food. Alright, let's put all this stuff in here. We had some room for that. Good to go. That is our firewood in case we need to build a fire while we're out and about. That is our emergency water. That is an empty crate. An empty crate. Interesting. I didn't realize I had an empty crate. That one is full of those. Alright, let's go ahead and eat a little bit with salt as well. Alright, salt's all the way up there. Hunger's all the way down. Little thirsty. Alright, and since we know we have an empty crate, and because I'm a hoarder, we're going to go ahead and double check. See if there's anything else we do want to bring. I honestly don't think we need anything else. Yeah, I think we're pretty good to go on that one. All right, it is coming up on nighttime. Oh, let's definitely grab some whole papayas. I'm gonna grab the papayas as opposed to the bananas, because the bananas just really don't do all that much. All right, they're good. Don't see any hemp buds. Grab some hemp stems. Alrighty. I think this was the... Nope, that was not the empty one. That is the empty one. Put all those in there, all that in there, all that in there. Alright, we should be pretty good to go. We are at tiredness of 73. It is sunset. What a beautiful sunset. I'm going to take a quick shot of the base. Take a quick shot of the boat. And then I think it is time to actually sleep. Now, we're going to sleep on the ground. That way we'll get through the night. It's about the only way to get through the night. listening to the crickets. Alright, they're stopping. There's a nice sunrise. Now, one thing I did want to do is I wanted to take a quick peek. Our clock is probably a little bit off. Sunrise should be at 6 a.m. But should be close enough. Alright, so the other thing we've got is we have our note. If I had known that even my last hope would disappear here, I would not have left the island cluster located very near in the south direction. Alright, so we need to go south, which is that way. So all we have to do is turn around and head south. Now, we could stop by Turtles and Bananas on the way out if we wanted. That is Starter Island. Turtles and Bananas should be over here somewhere. There's Turtles and Bananas. So I think we're going to aim for Turtles and Bananas first. And we might just give it a quick look-see. I don't think we really need anything over there, but it might not be a bad idea to grab a couple turtles. And then we will be on our way. We will be on our way. Whoop. Go ahead and get this in the water. All right, let's get moving. All right, we'll get up here to where we can actually see where we're headed. Turtles and Bananas should be off to the right a little bit. I did notice that I was on the Discord last night and I was talking with a couple of people over there, and I had briefly mentioned that the speed indicator was off and they fixed it. One of the things I really, really love about this game in particular is that these devs are Johnny on the spot with everything. All right, we're going to go ahead and take a quick peek around. We are out to sea. All right, need to find Turtles and Bananas. Starter Island. Turtles and Bananas is that one right there. Let's go ahead and get set up for turning right towards Turtles and Bananas. All right, we are straight on that one. Go ahead and give it a good old sit down. And we will fast forward. Speed up time. If I could speed up time. Now, I had a debate as to what I wanted to do about what is probably going to be a very long sea voyage. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to record it. I'm not very familiar with video editing, so I don't know if I can do a voiceover speed up type of thing or not. I'll have to look into that. But the next episode after this one is probably going to be when we actually get to the next cluster. We will officially head out and try and get out of the cluster on this one, and then the next episode is probably going to be when I finally find some land, or at least that's going to be the plan. If I can figure out a way to do it, like I said, if I can figure out some video editing, I will record the whole trip, but it's quite possible that it might be 2-3 hours long, and nobody wants to watch me on a boat for 2 to 3 hours. That's just boring. It would be this. With the occasional attempt at using a sextant around noon. So I don't think that that would make for the most exciting of stuff. But we're gonna do what we can. All right, there's Starter Island off to there. That is rocks and seagulls. That should be turtles and bananas. Moving right along. And then we're just going to head straight south. And it does say very near to the south, so hopefully it won't be that long before I can find another cluster of islands. But we shall see. We definitely don't need any bananas. I think I have 50 bananas with me, and I hate to say it, bananas are almost useless as a food source if you have papaya. The vitamin C that they provide and the nourishment that they provide is negligible. All right, now I do want to test something because I think the wind was adjusted a little bit. And since the wind is coming from the right-hand side, it is going to blow us off course a little bit. Even though I am pointed directly at that island, we are shifting left ever so slightly. So bear that in mind, even on starter mode, it is blowing as it should. So the boat is moving to the left ever so slightly. So I will have to make sure that I continue to watch my course as I go along. All right, I do have some firewood with me, and I do have the fire on board, but I don't really plan on cooking anything while I'm... Whoop. I don't really plan on cooking anything while I'm sailing, but it never hurts to have some backup stuff, so I could grab some eggs, because I don't see any turtles. I guess they're out of season? No turtles, no bananas. We have no bananas today. No biggie. No biggie. All right, so let's go ahead and take one quick look at that. That is rocks and eggs. That is our southernmost point. So we're going to aim just to one side of that island. And we are going to be out and about along our way. I wanted one more spot to save as well, where I was saving on land. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop one quick save right here, just in case. Remember, guys, this is in fact an alpha version of the game. Never know what's going to happen. Why are we going backwards? There we go. All right, so the wind is coming from the other direction. But since I have it on starter, I don't have to worry about that. All I have to do is push it forward and it will go. All right, wind is coming from our left now, so it's going to be blowing us to the right. Let's go ahead and get a sit down, and then we will speed up. I'm a little curious as to how strong that wind is. meaning how far to the right it's going to push us. All right, we are thirsty. Let's go ahead and take care of that problem. Thirst is at 56. Thirst is at 16. There we go. Hunger, we could use some land food or some seafood. Let's see how bad I screwed myself up here. I don't think I did at all. Salmon with salt. Cooked meat with salt. Hunger's good. And next thing we need to eat is some land. And we will need to eat a piece of fruit in the future. We are, in fact, still moving. That is awesome. And we're sitting down, and let's go ahead and let's skedaddle. Now, I think what's going to happen here is I'm going to have to keep sailing, which I should in fact check. We are still headed pretty much south. It's a little hard to see with the sun directly overhead. No compass equipped. Got to put that back where it was. Alright, so we are heading south. That is Rocks and Eggs. That is our furthest south location. We are, in fact, on track. I know that that was kind of a pointless thing to do, but I did want to make sure that I am pointing just south, because we are about to go past our furthest south island. The seas tend to be picking up a little bit here. But what I think I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to go and just sail. We will sail as long as we can before we get really, really tired. Then we are going to sleep on the bed, which is going to sleep pretty quickly because it is a 140 bed. So we will rest fairly quickly and then wake up tomorrow, continue sailing, and right around noon we'll try and use the sextant. So we'll have to keep an eye on the time tomorrow. But we're pretty much just going to be heading directly south at this point in time and see what happens. Our wind is pretty good. Whoop, sorry. Did not mean to bump that. Now, one of the things I did do is I actually put my lanterns up on the wall. I filled them up with oil and I put them up on the wall so that I can do them one at a time. I think I have 4 of them hanging right now. So that gives me probably 4 nights of light. We should be pretty much good to go on that. I did not pay attention what time it was, though. We need to stand up to do that. Let's see what time we got. It's only 1 o'clock in the afternoon. You know, since it's actually 1 o'clock in the afternoon, let's try just for gits and shiggles. I need to find, where is the sun? There's the sun there. Don't know if this is going to work or not. Might actually have to be... Alright, so if we do that... Now we really need to do this outside the quadrant. Or outside the cluster. Before that really works. But that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. Oh, we're crooked. Now it will give us a warning when we are sailing outside the cluster too. It'll say, congratulations, you've left the cluster. So we will know when we're outside the sphere of influence. In the meantime, though, we're going to be all slightly crooked to the left here. We're leaning. And we're gonna sail until we get out of this cluster. Hopefully we hit it before nighttime. It's quite possible that we won't actually get outside of the cluster till tomorrow. The distances are not short. But then once you get outside the cluster, one of the things that I've learned is you have to start looking out for birds. In the morning, they will be flying out to sea apparently from the islands, and at night, the evening time, they fly back towards the islands. So if you see birds in the morning flying, you want to aim towards the direction that they came from. If you see them in the evening, you want to go the direction that they're going. If you see them in the midday, they might just be out fishing, but at least if you see birds, you know you're relatively close to land. So you can kind of use them as a gauge as to whether or not you are close to anything. Now, excuse me, I also understand that while we're over here, we're not going to see anything along the horizon until we actually get out of the cluster. We already know where all the islands in our cluster were, so there's not going to be any surprises on here until it tells me I've gotten out of the cluster. And then you need to start scanning the horizon. You can't just sit there and look one direction and expect to find it. You do need to look off to the sides every once in a while, because you'll see one side of a cluster off on your east or your west or something like that. Just because the guy said it was to the south doesn't mean it's going to be directly south. So bear that in mind. But we have not even gotten out of our cluster yet, so... But we got some good sails on the boat. I took the outriggers off to make it a bit more sleek. I did notice that the devs had said that a lot of things about sailing depend on... It was kind of a very brief comment that he made, or they made, was that it depends, a lot on weather factors, the wind, and everything else like that. But then the other thing was, he did mention ship design, which I did catch that, and I was like, ooh, ship design actually does make a difference. So I might as well take the extra drag of those 6 panels off, because we did have those 6 outriggers. So now we basically just got a 15 panel boat, 5 long, 3 wide, and it should be going a little smoother. Or at least I'm hoping that's the case. One can hope. It's kind of funny, when you're on an island doing something, it seems like the day passes so much faster. Now that we're out on a boat, just sitting here, this seems to be taking quite a while. But that's okay. It's probably only 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Coming up on sunset. Seas are picking up a little bit. Got a good wind now. We got 3 arrows. And we are moving. We are moving. Alright, I am gonna hop out of that for a second. Take a look at our thirst and our hunger. We're not very tired either. Can't even see any of the cluster from behind us. That's awesome. We are still headed pretty much directly south. We can zoom out now. Well, we could zoom out before, but there's the first cluster. Let's try this mirror up. Let's actually mirror reset. There we go. Now we can mirror up. Still on the first cluster. I think the only thing that's a little disconcerting is the fact that I'm leaning to the left. That is a little disconcerting. Alright, let's get the UI back up. Let's go ahead and sit back down, and we will speed up time. This episode's going to run a little bit long because I do want to run it until we get out of the cluster so that you guys can actually see what happens. See the notification, everything else like that of what it says when you do leave your cluster. Now, of course, the only downside is it's going to get dark. But like I said, I do have the lanterns ready to go. So I can get us some light. That should not be a problem. These are a little bit rough. That would make me so sick. I would definitely be getting seasick, for sure. Oh, the moon has come up. Got a pretty bright moon out. We'll have moonlight for a little bit. Sun's not even all the way down. Alrighty. I do want to make sure we're still headed south. We are. Alright, tiredness is only 32. Mainly because we've been sitting down, but our thirst is up there and our hunger is getting up there. Let's go ahead and take care of that. We need a little bit of land food. Gotta be sure not to fall off the boat. That would be embarrassing. Eat some smoked meat. Alright, next thing we need to eat is a piece of fruit. Did bring some uncooked salmon with me just in case. I have a whole lot of just in cases. Whole lot of just in cases. Alright. Now we're pretty much going to get into the real boring part. Alright, looks like the moon is going down. One thing I actually haven't done is I haven't actually used these. That does not provide a ton of light. Almost 10 o'clock at night. Let's see how long that runs. So what we'll do here is we will sit. Wait it out. And when that goes out, I'll see what time it is. Now I'm using the oil lanterns, even though I have candle lanterns too. So if I run out of lamp oil, I can always switch to the candles. And from what I understand, I think the candles actually last longer. I'm looking forward to them having a crafting menu where you can make candles. I'd like to be able to like render fat down. Hopefully they'll put some land animals on here. You can render fat down and make candles. Do like short rope fat. Make tallow candles. That'd be kind of cool. I do know that they have a whole lot of things planned. I don't want to speculate too much on what they are going to do and what they're not going to do. But having read through a lot of the comments from the devs, they seem to have a pretty good plan of attack on this. I am kind of curious as to what is going to be in the big content update in March, which is, I believe, when the next one's going to be. All right, so that is going down. 7, 6. About 3 will get up, and oh, it went out at 5. And I don't think I'm going to be able to see what time it is. All right, so we're going to have to light. We're going to have to light this one, just so we can actually see our watch. Oh, that did not last very long at all. I also do not want to drink that. How does one extinguish? There we go. So let's extinguish that. We're going to go ahead and take a rest. We're going to go until fully rested. I wonder if I'll be able to see what time it is now. All right, it's a little bit after 2, so I only slept for 3 hours. Only slept for 3 hours. But then again, I was not very tired. We are a little thirsty. We can get rid of some of that with a whole papaya. All right, yeah, we're good to go on that. We are a little bit wet. So apparently we are getting wet on the boat. The wind has picked up. We still haven't gotten the warning that we are out of our cluster. Seas are a little bit rough. Of course, with the winds picking up, we're probably going to get rained on. We are probably going to get rained on. Or at least that's what I'm assuming with these rough seas and the high wind. We have nothing really to look at. And we're still in our first time to inaccurate. All right, so I'm gonna At noon tomorrow, I'm going to try and mark with the sextant. I think that's what I need to do. We'll give that a shot. The only other content creator that I've seen do this was Game Edged. And when he did it, it looked like he kind of did it accidentally. So it wasn't really super clear how he got the map to mark that he was outside the cluster. So we're kind of just flying by the seat of our pants here. Kind of flying by the seat of our pants. All right, there's sunrise there. Okay, that was to be expected. Oh, it's raining. I want to see what time it is. I think my clock is off a little bit. I think it's actually 6 a.m. So I'm going to assume it's 6. Because sunrise should be at 6 a.m. and sunset should be at 6 p.m. This is kind of unfortunate because I can't see Jack. I can't see Jack, so we're going to go ahead and speed up time again, and hopefully it'll stop raining. Whoop. Hold on. Seagulls on the ocean. Seagulls can be a big help when you are lost in the open ocean. By observing them in the direction of nearest island clusters can be determined. In the morning, seagulls are leaving the most nearby cluster to catch fish. Evening, they are flying back to the most nearby cluster to sleep. Alright, so I don't know if there were seagulls flying around or not. It might not actually even be 6 a.m. yet, because I don't think the sun is officially up. Alright, the sun is definitely up now. Alright, so let's go ahead and move time backwards. Now it should be 6 a.m. I think we're off by about half an hour. Not too bad for trying to set from the sundial and not knowing what the hell you're doing. If I do say so myself. Hopefully it'll have cleared up by noon. Oh, I see seagulls. I saw seagulls. Okay, so if I saw seagulls, they were going out to fish. I did see seagulls, I swear. They were pretty much straight off to the left here. They were right about there, so if they were headed out to fish, then we might not be too far away from an island. See, I hear them. Oh, they're leaving our cluster. That's what they're doing. Alright, so, dang it. Got all excited. Alright, so they're headed out to fish. They're coming from directly behind us, which means the closest cluster to where we are is, unfortunately, where we were. Excuse me. Alright, so we're going to continue sailing at fast speed until about noon. Then we'll try and do the sextant again. Oh, seriously rough seas. They're still going out to fish. And it's raining again. Kinda need the rain to stop so that I can get a good shadow. That shadow right in front of us should be that sail. Wait until it gets over about here. Should be about noon then. So I'm thinking it's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Let's check my guesstimate. Not too bad, not too bad. Ding! All the phone notifications. It is still very overcast. Alright, I don't want to miss out on noon. So I do need to kind of... Alright, exiting the cluster. There you go. Got it. Open the ocean can be very dangerous, and searching for island cluster can take to a couple of long days. It is advised to take the following precautions. Pile up a good amount of food and water. Have a bed attached to the raft. Have a compass equipped. Section noon synchronized pocket watch equipped are highly recommended. Alright, so that's what happens when you get to the end of the cluster. It pops that out. Now, what I do want to do is... Let's go ahead and... still trying to rain. So I don't know if we're going to be able to actually get a sextant reading. But the map automatically goes to that. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick mirror reset. Then we will mirror up. See if we can find the sun. So it's going to be a little difficult with the clouds and the sails in the way. Let's actually do this. Let's do a mirror reset. All right, there's our giant ball of flame in the sky. Now we can mirror up. And you're supposed to bring it down to that. There you go. And then when you mark it, it pulls it up on the map. It shows that we are somewhere in that little scratchy outside of the cluster. So not bad, not bad. And it will get more refined if you do it closer to noon. And I'm pretty sure right now it is about almost 11 o'clock. So in about an hour and 15 minutes, I can go ahead and do that again and probably get a better reading. And we will continue on with going on that. Let's make sure we are actually still headed south. We have veered off a little bit. South is actually that way a little bit. But close enough. That's going to be it for this episode, guys. Thanks again for all the love and support. You guys have been absolutely amazing. We have made it outside of our cluster. Now we're out in the open ocean. We just need to find some land. I will go ahead and record the next part, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can actually find a cluster. And until next time, find your own damn islands.